All right. So this first news story comes to us from IGN, written by Ryan Didsdale. It's a rundown. Nintendo Direct August 2024. Everything announced. We don't need to read through this whole thing. If there's things off the top of your head, Adrian, that you want to talk about, do it. Because there was a lot between the Direct and the Indie Showcase or Indie World Showcase. There was a lot. There was a lot of games they talked about.
The Indie Showcase for me definitely stole the show, but I'll let you go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was asking you, what's kind of the first thing you would like to touch on?
I mean, the big thing for me is definitely the why am I blanking? Oh, Pizza Tower. Yes. Finally making its way over.
Yeah,
been
Pizza
waiting to
Tower.
Play that.
We've known about this for a long time, right? Like this has been.
Pizza Tower has been a game for a long time. It's been out for a while, but it just never. It has never made its way over to Switch, and I've been waiting forever for it to make its way, and it just hadn't done it. So finally, it's coming over, and I actually need to pick it up.
Pizza Tower launches on Switch today. So whenever the Direct was, as revealed during the finale of Nintendo's Indie World Showcase, the fast-paced 2D platformer inspired by the Wario Land series launched on PC last year, but finally arrives on Switch as of August 27th. Players take on the role of Peppino Spaghetti, a maniac pizza man with many abilities like charging, super jumping, and dashing. IGN's Pizza Tower review returned a 9 out of 10. We said Pizza Tower is a blistering fast 2D platform with an unmistakable art style, an unforgettable soundtrack that transcends its Wario Land inspirations and finds its own identity as one of the most energetic, fun, and creative 2D platformers in recent memory.
Yes.
I love that his name is Peppino Spaghetti. It's so good.
It's so stupid. I love it. But I've watched a couple of playthroughs. Our buddy Steph Baby's actually played through it on her stream a little while ago. Okay. So yeah, that game is looking real good, and I can't wait to play it. Yakuza is coming to Switch finally.
Again, Yakuza Kiwami.
Thank goodness. It was unbelievable that those games were not on Switch. I don't know how we never got them, especially because they're PS3 games or PS3 era games. So Switch could definitely run them. But I'm glad they're fixing that mistake, and they're probably only going to do like 1 or 2 at this point, and then wait for the next hardware, and then put the rest of them out so they can have the modern games on there too, which is totally fine because most people it'll take them until the next hardware gets out to finish the originals.
Right. The remake of the first Yakuza game is coming to Nintendo Switch after the series was absent on the platform for years. Revealed alongside an October 24th release date, Yakuza Kiwami tells the story of Kiryu Kazuma as he battles through the criminal underground of Tokyo, Japan. Faced with 10 years in prison for a murder he didn't commit, Kiryu reemerges in the city with a whole new world to comprehend as the Tokyo he knew in the 90s has long disappeared. So, the Yakuza games have always looked super interesting to me. I think we had a question a few weeks ago about like series that's hard to get into, and Yakuza is definitely one of them that like I've always been scared to jump into because there's so many of them, and I never know where to start. Like, should I just start playing the newest one because it's the newest one, just to like see what it's about, or is it worth investing the time and going back and like, all right, let's start with Kiwami, which is the remake of the first one, and like really understanding the whole story. Like this is so daunting, but I'm just glad that it's coming to more places for more people to play, because it always looks, anytime I've watched people stream it, seen videos of it, this game looks like so like wacky and fun, but also like the story, like it has a good story, like it's the drama and everything in it. I'm like, okay, this is like it's all the beats. But have you played through any of the Yakuza games?
0 is the one that I started on and didn't push all the way through, but I enjoyed what I played of it, and I would like to go back, but I feel like Yakuza is a huge time commitment with how many games there are. Yeah. Again, that's not a deterrent. That's like more of a sweet, because that means there's a lot of game to play. But it's just finding the time to do it is the big one.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, the new Capcom Fighting Collection came out or is coming out on top of the Marvel vs. Capcom one.
It's out digitally on September 12th, physically on November 22nd. Marvel. Oh wait, no, that's Marvel vs. Capcom fight. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, arcade classics.
Yeah, we got a date, and then there's another one coming out with Capcom versus SNK.
Yeah, that one I don't see.
I don't think it has a date
yet, but
just the fact that it's coming. Like Capcom is just like, hey, you want all our olds, and Power Stone's in it too.
Yeah,
and
they're
like
Capcom versus SNK, Project Justive, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, and Power Stone 2, coming to everything: PS4, PC, Switch. No mention of an Xbox release, so not Xbox,
which is interesting. But yeah, I feel like Capcom is just like, you want all our best stuff? Here, take it. And everybody's like, okay, cool. We'll take that. And then Konami's finally following suit. Like, speaking of Konami, all the Castlevania DS games are coming over to Switch. And they figured out a way to make them all work on one screen. So that tells me there's a way to make DS games work if you want them to on one screen. Nintendo. Why is DS not in Switch Online? Nintendo, it has a touch screen. What are we doing?
It's true. Yeah, it includes a bunch of them, right? Yeah, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, Order of Ecclesia, which some of those are Game Boy Advance, but a couple of them are DS, right? Or all of those DS games?
They're all DS. We already got the Advance Collection.
Okay. I was reading the article wrong here. It says joining. So yeah, it's saying Classic Collection and Advanced Collection's already available. I see. And now this is the Dominus Collection, which had all the DS games. That's pretty sick. I'm kind of excited for these next two games. You're going to be surprised because I don't have any former attachment to them, but they're both series I've been told by so many people I need to play because they're just for some. I feel like for certain people, they're up there with like Chrono Trigger, like that type of JRPG. And so I was like, I feel like people have been like, it's a disservice. You're doing a disservice to yourself by not playing these. So
if you're about to say Suikoden, you're right.
I'm stoked about, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster coming March 2025. And then the HD 2D remake of
Dragon Quest 3
coming as well, which that's this year, right?
Yep.
Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. Its gameplay trailer November 14th. So just a couple more months. So both of those, man, like they look bangers. So good. And there's a streamer. I've heard of Suikoden a lot. I've had friends who love Suikoden, and I've just never touched it. I'm like, I don't know. It seems a little too crazy to me. But it wasn't until recently I was watching a streamer who I like, Premier 2. His name is Pete. He was streaming and he was talking about like Suikoden he's been playing through the Elden Ring DLC. And he was just talking about like, dude, like Suikoden is like one of his favorite game series of all time. He was talking about it, and everything he said about it was just like, I don't know. It was like, man, this like checks so many boxes. This sounds so epic and so amazing. Like, why have I not?
They are so good.
Games?
Both of them are so good, dude.
Yeah, and then obviously like. You and Selkies and a bunch of other people love the Dragon Quest series. So like hearing that 3, which I guess is technically like the first game, right? Like it's supposed to be
3 is technically 1. Yes.
Yeah. So like knowing that's coming this year, I'm like, okay, I might need to like figure. I don't
lock in, good buddy. You won't regret it.
On my backlog, but I need to play through some of these. But yeah, Suikoden 1 and 2 not coming until next year. They said March 2025. So it gives me time. If I play through Dragon Quest 3 this year, Suikoden 1 and 2 next year.
Dragon Quest you can honestly probably get through in about 50 hours.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Especially if they've modernized it and streamlined some stuff with like current day ideology of how JRPGs work. I think you can probably do that. Because I think the original is
and just quality of life things. Because even in like Suikoden 1 and 2, it says The trailer highlighted 2 new features being added in the remaster: the ability to speed up combat to 2 times and 4 times speed, and auto battle button. So like even stuff like that, I'm sure can help speed up the game. Like, oh, okay, I can, just speed up combat, so I don't have to sit there for, X amount. Like, because all that, if you go grinding, trying to like level up, like all that adds up. So to be able to just sit down and just get through it. What I just looked up Dragon Quest 3 on how long to beat.
Yeah, about 36, 37 hours.
For the main story, it says 27 and a half. Oh, wait, no, that's for Seeds of Salvation. Is that what it's called? Dragon Quest 3 Seeds of Salvation? Okay. 27 and a half hours. Main story. With extras, it's 33. Completionist is 33 and a half. So it's like...
See, I'm seeing different. I'm seeing main story is 36, main and extras 46, and completionist is about 43. Interesting. Well, basically, whatever that all means, that it won't take you terribly long.
Some hours. That's like how long,
in JRPG terms.
That's like Death Stranding length.
There you go.
There you go. Which, by the way, not our podcast, not our show, but we did it, Adrian. We won the Super NPC Book Club poll. Death
no way they're playing Death Stranding, dude.
That's the baby game got picked. It was between that or Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Wow, they had to miss out on Ocarina of Time. I know they were pissed.
Woo! I was fighting hard in that Discord, dude. I was fighting so hard in their Discord.
You're probably about to get banned, actually.
Probably.
That's hilarious.
Man. I mean, I had to. I was on the Call Me By Your Game episode, and I talked about Death Stranding, so it would be off-brand of me to not go that hard in the Super NPC Discord talking about how amazing Death Stranding is.
How much do you bet they were like, dude, nobody's going to pick Death Stranding. We got this locked in. We could just go ahead and start playing Ocarina of Time. Oops. Oops.
Sorry, everyone. I don't know who all is going to be playing it, but... I'm sure it'll probably be Connor, it'll be Jeremy. Will Patrick be in there maybe? Will they get Patrick in there?
I think they can.
I know Patrick is like strictly a Nintendo guy like 90% of the time. So the thought of him playing Death Stranding just makes me chuckle because it's so completely off the wall different than anything Nintendo. Like, I can't wait. Not that he's never played any other console or never played, like Patrick has played a lot of games. Don't get me wrong. Like, but it's just funny because like his go-to is like Nintendo, Metroid, Zelda, like those. And sort of the thought of like someone like, some of those guys over at the Super MP's radio is like, we gotta play Death Stranding. What is this? I love it. That brings me more joy. It's just like, I can't wait to hear their reactions to the wild things that happen in that game. Anyways.
That's going to be
back
good.
On topic. Suikoden 1 and 2, Dragon Quest 3. I'm excited for that. I don't know if there's much. Oh, the Balatro. They announced.
Yeah, they got a lot of collabs.
They announced Dave the Diver at Opening Night Live that they were collabing with them. But then at the Direct, they announced, we're also collabing with Witcher 3, Vampire Survivors, and Among Us. And more. I think there's even more than that. That's not even all of them. Hang on, let me look at this article.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I feel like there was more. No, that was it. Yeah, The Witcher, Vampire Survivors, Dave the Diver, and Among Us. Wild. So basically, like they created themed decks based off of those games, which is awesome. Balatro is such a good game, and so I'm excited. Like, all right, jump back in there, try some of these theme decks based off of these other series, see how the different Jokers work. That was surprising, honestly. Like, of all games to collab, Balatro is like, it doesn't make sense. Like, in my head, Balatro is one of those games like, that's going to come out and people will love it for what it is, but how do you possibly do DLC? How do you possibly, and then for them to be like,
and they said, watch this,
hold my beer, It's like, okay, all right, sorry, I doubted you.
I feel like I definitely got to give Balatro like a good go one of these days.
Do you have it?
I don't.
Okay, it's fun, it's good, it's poker, but what's great is it's like you're playing with this magical deck that you can, like, get different effects to get points, and there's like weird magic stuff going on. You're basically building your deck out. Like you can swap like, okay, I'm gonna trade the Queen of Diamonds for another, Ace of Clubs or something. Like you can have multiples of the same cards, or you can have like all these weird like magical cards that do crazy things, and it's so fun. If it was a straight poker, I probably wouldn't be as interested, but it's like the craziness of it is like, okay, this is fun.
I feel like after.
Oh, sorry. I was
gonna say, I feel like after Inscription, me and Inscription had our little, go around. I'm much more open to the possibility of card games. So
it was good. It was good in the end, right?
No, Inscription was a roller coaster to me that I ended up coming out being a big fan of that game. So
I am so upset I'm unemployed right now. Like, this is
why did they do another set of cards?
I haven't been so upset until like 3 weeks ago, or maybe like a month ago. They put out the email because I'd signed up for email notifications. There's some dude over in Australia that makes physical versions of it that are like super, super, super high quality. Like he hand carves and hand crafts like the wooden box and like all like the little golden teeth and like all this, like all the cards are like,
what is it, like $600?
It's like it's like $200 or $300 Australian, which in US dollars it is cheaper. I think it comes up to like 150 ish, 150, between 150 and $200. That's a lot of money. Well, I was gonna say it's a lot of money for a game, but it's not really. Like if you buy like big board games like that, that's not a terrible price, honestly. But pre-orders ended. The second round of pre-orders ended a couple days ago, like the end of August. I'm like, dang it. I hope they do a third round, and I hope I have a job because I so badly want to get it. It'd be so fun to play like in person with people because it's such a fun game. It's such a cool concept.
I feel like if they sell through like these first two waves, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a third.
Yeah, I hope so. Man, I hope so. It'd be so cool to get. This next announcement came out of nowhere. Power Wash Simulator.
Getting Shrek DLC, baby. Let's go, dude. DLC.
Meaning players can soon take their Power Washer, the Ogre's famous swampy cleanup for good. A Fairy Tales collaboration is coming to Nintendo Switch this fall in the new Shrek special pack for Power Wash Simulator. Wash away your worries and live happily ever after to the soothing sounds of high pressure water, carefully ridding nostalgic locations from villainous muck. In this hero's journey, players will clean up the grime covering 5 iconic maps from the Shrek universe, including Shrek Swamp, Dragon's Lair, and 3 other unrevealed locations. I wouldn't have ever guessed that in a million years. Because, I mean, the Power Wash Simulator, their DLC is so all over the place. Like, they've done SpongeBob, and they've done Final Fantasy, they've done Tomb Raider, so it's like, you can't nail them down. There's no, like, rhyme or reason. So when it was like, Shrek, I'm like, okay, what's going on here, guys? Oh, it's so ridiculous. I love it. Absolutely love it. Adrian, was there anything else that you feel it's worth bringing up? Sea of Stars is getting TLC.
Yes, I'm stoked about that.
Yet, though. I have the game. I have not. I think I have the game. I think I got it on Steam.
Wait, you didn't play Sea? Oh, that's right. You haven't. That's fair.
I think I got it on Steam. Like
I have it on Switch
or something like that. So I've not played through that yet, but the DLC did look very good, though.
The game is very good.
Metal Slug Tactics gets a new trailer.
We finally got a date for Metal Gear's Tactics, or not Metal Gear, Metal Slug Tactics.
It says sometime in fall 2024. So,
but I'm saying that's either this month or next month. So I'll take it because last time we saw this game was like a year or so ago. So
yeah, that's true.
I will take that.
Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope DX, Ultimate Edition of the beloved adventure game.
What's the difference?
Jump, battle foes, and seek treasures as you quest to defeat the Order of No Quarter and their vile leader, the Enchantress. Shovel of Hope DX enriches the original game with 20 distinctive playable characters, seamless online multiplayer, and innovative additions like Rewind and Save States. Whether you're a longtime shoveler or eager to discover the Blue Burrower for the first time, Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope DX invites everyone to celebrate a decade of digging, dashing, and discovery. So it's just like a 10-year anniversary re-release with like save states and rewinds and more characters to play as.
So
that's one I've not played. I've never played Shovel Knight. I
really
recently got it on my 3DS, so I'm like, all right. After I finish a couple of these other games I have loaded up on there, maybe I'll try it.
Yes, please do. What was I gonna say? Oh, there's a indie game that looks super freaky and weird, and I actually really dig it. It's called Morsels. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh yeah,
it's like really nasty and freaky, and the art is so good. And you play like a little animal that can turn into other monsters, and like let me see. Morsels follows a mouse who uses magic cards to transform into little monsters, battling against wicked felines who dominate the game's world. Awesome. And the art is so good and weird.
Yeah, I love it. It's like 2D sprites, but it's 2D sprites done extremely well because they put like the fake scan lines over it, and it actually almost looks 3D. Like they're 2D sprites, but with this, like it almost looks like looking at a CRT TV. Sometimes people try to simulate, pixel art on a CRT, and it just looks simulated. It's like, oh, that still just looks like 2D art with like a weird filter over it. This looks like what I remember like a CRT looking like playing, some of those old retro games. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, the really high quality pixel art, like really whatever filter they're using for the scan lines actually looks legit. And so it's giving it everything that like a weird, like an interesting 3D effect to it. Very cool. Yeah. And like the art style is very kind of like, it's kind of gross a little bit, but cute at the same time. There's like really like cute things and then like really gross things. I don't know. It looks like it could be really, really fun, really silly. I'm excited for that one. Coming February next year. Yeah, I think it's pretty much it for me. I mean, there's a couple more indies we could talk about, but we've already talked a long time about it. If you are curious, just go check out the list. There's so much they announced. Lots of great stuff. Nintendo has some cool stuff. It's maybe not be first party, but I'm glad to see that they're still supporting indies.
Oh, wait, real quick. Didn't we get a Plucky Squire date?
I don't think it was from them. It wasn't that opening night live.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got them switched up.
I think that was, you're right, we did, but I think that was opening night live, which was the week before, not at the Nintendo Direct. But yeah, that's like in the next month or so, if I remember right. It was pretty soon, which I'm stoked for that. That game looks super sick. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.